Donald Trump loves to brag about his poll numbers that, of course, are not even accurate with the polls he's talking about. But his favorite pollster is, of course, Rasmussen Reports. And as everybody knows, Rasmussen is a right-leaning pollster, and they're always way more favorable to him than any of the other polls out there. And they tend to, because they're so far to the right, end up skewing polling averages to make Trump look better than he actually is. But just a week ago, Donald Trump was bragging about a Rasmussen poll that showed he had 68% approval rating, when actually their poll showed it was 48%. But still, that's the only pollster he likes, and even when they're favorable to him, he will still skew it up by, 20 points. But Rasmussen recently came out with a new poll that Donald Trump has been dead silent on. He hasn't mentioned it, he hasn't bragged about it, and it's because we have hit a point where even the most pro-Trump pollsters in the country, the only one he trusts, the only one he likes, can't hide the bad data anymore. Because according to this new poll from Rasmussen, 45% of Americans regret voting for Donald Trump. 45% of Americans believe that, the country would definitely be in much better shape had Kamala Harris won last year instead of Donald Trump. And yes, that does include people who voted for Donald Trump. They have buyer's remorse. And in fact, Rasmussen actually called it voter's remorse. So almost half the country says we would be much better off had Trump not won that election. Now, Rasmussen also claims, but back in April, it was 48% said we'd be better under Harris. Now only 45%. So it's actually gone down. So that's how they're trying to skew it in Trump's favor. But let me point this out. Back in April, when 48% of the country allegedly said, no, we'd be better under Harris than Trump, back then, Donald Trump had a positive approval rating on nearly every issue. Not overall, but on most issues, most people liked what he was doing. Today, on the other hand, he doesn't have a positive approval rating on literally any issue. So fewer people hated him then, but more of them thought we'd be better under Harris, versus now more people hate him, but fewer think we'd be better under Harris. Now that doesn't add up. That doesn't follow any rules of logic or common sense. So no, I do not believe a single thing Rasmussen says. I think they're trying to kind of pad it a little bit for Trump. Like, well, it's actually gone down, even though more people hate you according to our own polls today. You're still doing better today than you were when more people liked you. That doesn't make any sense. Like, that's not a thing that's even statistically possible.